I did make that post where it's like, Pizzomatic is officially closing down. And then I remember a lot of people saying, yeah, I knew it. It came fast as it would go. And, a lot of negativity, which is good because that's what I need for this business or any business.
Juice, every time I try to text you about setting up this interview, I would not get a text back until 3:30 one morning, the next morning be 4:30, then 5:30. So what are you doing around that time?
I'll be up working. So it's usually fermenting the dough or changing recipes or trying to hurry up and stock the machine. So right now for these first stages, Pizzomatic I'm a slave to. So yeah.
And that's every morning, including weekends, correct?
Yes, sir. Every morning, including weekends.
I don't think I would have the capability of sacrificing my weekends for that.
Yeah, I feel that, but in the long run, it's gonna pay off. So,
well, thank you for sharing that.
Yes, sir.
Guys, welcome to another episode of the 402 and Out podcast. I'm your host, Connor Wiesman, and with me today, I have the founder of Pizzomatic, Juice. Juice, thank you for joining me today in this episode.
Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure.
And for those who don't know what Pizzomatic is, it is, I believe, the first vending machine pizza in the state of Nebraska. And this came out, I believe, it launched in April or around springtime, right?
Yeah.
So I saw this on my social media page, and I'm like, I got to interview the founder, the guy behind this. And here we are today in his commercial kitchen, which is a great kitchen, by the way. I love the hospitality here for sure. It just feels very professional.
Yeah, it is. And I work hard to get this. I actually got it from the owner of this. Shout out to him. His name is Harry. But I was working on Pizzomatic late nights, and they pulled up behind me for like 15, 20 minutes, and it's 12 o'clock at night. So I'm looking over my shoulder like, who is this behind watching me? And so the whole time they was in their car, and they was researching me, and they said, hey, you have a commercial kitchen that you are working out of? And then I was like, no. And then they just threw me the lob and said, here, you can work this. And they gave me a good price. And here I am.
Was that before the launch?
Yeah, it was before the launch. Yeah, it was like a couple weeks before the launch.
So where were you doing your pizza making before? Just in your kitchen?
I actually was going to do it from the home. And so I thought there's a thing called a cottage license, which they allowed me to make the pizzas and stock the machine. But by law, you have to have a commercial kitchen. I didn't know that. So yeah, that's what I was going to originally start out with. I'm not going to lie.
Well, dang. I didn't know that. You learn something new every day. Didn't know there's such thing as pizza laws here. Maybe it's more of a food.
Yeah, food law.
So
yeah, all food.
Thinking about that, I understand that now. Yeah. Understand that better. But before I want to deep dive into Pizzomatic and how this vending machine pizza business became an idea for you, I would love to jump into what your childhood was like back then and what living in Lincoln was like back then, as I like to ask all my guests what their life was like before they started their passion. So can we jump into what your childhood was like?
Yeah, so growing up, like you said, I'm from here. I grew up with my mom and dad, big family, house of 7. And so living conditions, it was ups and downs. It was a very toxic environment. And so I think that's what first bred who I am. And so shout out to James, Hakeem, my older siblings. All of them, that's all they knew was hard work. And so growing up, seeing that, they're always competing over everything. Who can drink the most water? Who can do the most push-ups? Who can make the most shots? Who can get up the earliest? And so over and over, that got instilled in my mind. And I always wanted just to be the best of everything and just be highly competitive. So growing up, like I said, it was rough. And then there was good times, there was bad times. But it wasn't anything I couldn't manage. And so until it was after high school, when I was 17, I moved out to California. And so I actually been living in California the last 7-8 years, and I came down just for Pizzomatic. So
got it. So you said you were hanging out with these people like Ikeem and the other people that you just mentioned.
Yeah,
so were those the people that helped you through your childhood and just growing up?
Yeah, so they each one of my siblings instilled something different in me. And so I think that, and then with the toxic household I was in, it all helped me, I guess, today be who I am. So, yeah.
Would you be uncomfortable talking about, because you say toxic household?
We can talk about it.
Can we share that?
Yeah, that's fine. So, to a certain extent. So, like I said, my mom and dad divorced around when I was in middle school, whatever. And so, trying not to leak too much information.
No, you're good.
It was just a toxic environment, I guess, with them. And so the things that we seen or went through, I guess, rubbed off a little bit on us. And so, um, yeah, I mean, without getting too much details, that's pretty much what that was about.
Got it.
So,
And then, as you said, you moved to California.
yeah.
So what can you kind of explain why that move happened?
Oh, so I moved to California for basketball. Originally, it's Northern California. It's a JUCO, and so I actually went out there with like $100, and I emailed. It was pretty much every coach in the country to get a basketball offer or anything. And so the first opportunity I had, or one of the opportunities I had, was up in Northern California. So like I said, at 17 years old, $100 to my name. I was like, I'm not staying here. I'm chasing my dream. And at the time, it was basketball. I packed up and left. Yeah.
Was that scary for you?
Yeah, it was, because that was the first time I had nobody. That's the first time I faced isolation. And it was not like it was a big city up in California. It was way up north by Reno. So I thought it was with palm trees and all of that. I'm going out to California to see the palm trees. No, it was nothing but pine trees and a lot of snow. It wasn't that fun. And so, yeah, it was a little bit, I want to say scary, but it was different moving by myself.
So let's talk about the lifestyle of California. What was the lifestyle living in Lincoln, Nebraska compared to California for the 7 or 8 years that you were there?
Well, Lincoln, Nebraska, growing up, I was a kid, so I moved as a kid. We did a lot of, quote unquote, bad things as far as just doing a lot of dumb stuff. And so I was just enjoying my time, not taking life all the way serious. Just because I was young, I was enjoying my youth. And versus California, that's when stuff got real. And so I was in an environment of, it's the first time I was in an environment of sink or swim. Like, if you don't take care of things, you're going to drown. And so, yeah, I had to make it happen out there. And that's what I started to become more of a man. Mm-hmm.
So what made you come back to Lincoln from Northern California?
So after Northern California, I went to a JUCO in 2019, and that was in Southern California. It was Barstow. So it was over in San Bernardino. I don't know if you're aware of that, but everything was going smooth. Like, I was doing really good, and then I hurt my lower back. And so it was a career-ending injury, and literally right after that, that's when COVID happened. And so after COVID, came back here, did my thing, went back out, and then I was out there for years and years and years, and that's when I don't know if you're gonna get into the question here about how it came about, but once Pizzomatic came in my head, came back out here, and that's where we at.
Got it. So was your childhood dream, was that always being a basketball player?
To be honest with you, my childhood dream, I wanted to play college basketball, like a D1 basketball. I didn't want to really go to the NBA. Like, that wasn't really a dream of mine, because the thought of playing only basketball, not learning anything else for 20, 30 plus years, I didn't like the idea of that. And so I always loved business.
One thing about your childhood that you brought up in the Corn Coast Conversations podcast, I want to bring up was your addiction with barbecue chicken pizza with California pizza.
Yeah, you make these cheese just
So,
bringing that up.
So can you talk about your addiction with that? Just because you, like, as you said, as a kid, you loved, or in high school, you claimed to eat that every day, right?
Yeah. So in my college years, yeah, I'm shopping cheap, and I don't have the luxury of going out to afford $10, $15 pizzas. And so around that time was like, I remember the price like $3.67, a little bit over that, but each time I pay it. And so barbecue chicken pizza is what I'll get every single day. If it wasn't that, then it was spaghetti. But yeah, I enjoyed it. I just didn't get tired of it ever. And so.
And then I guess, was it always California pizza? Is it California Pizza Kitchen, or is it California Kitchen Pizza?
No, California Pizza Kitchen.
Okay, I got it right the first time.
Yeah, that's the name.
Dude, I always get. I'm familiar with the brand and the restaurant. I just always get the words mixed up.
Got you.
Anyways, so is that like always like your go-to pizza, not like Jack's Pizza or Tombstone Pizza?
Nah, I even heard about those, to be honest with you. It was always California Pizza Kitchen. There's one called Red Baron. It was cool. A little bit cheap, tastes like cardboard, but California Pizza Kitchen is where it's at.
Got it. So that's all the, I guess, childhood questions I have for you. So let's get into the nitty gritty with how Pizzomatic originated.
Gotcha.
So what was that spark in your head that was just like, I need to make a pizza company back in Nebraska?
Okay, so in California, when I would say I was making a decent amount of money. It just seemed like though the more money I was making, the less time I had for myself, and so it got to a point where I was just jotting down a million different business ideas. Didn't like it, scratched it. Didn't like it, scratched it. Oh, I like this. I'm gonna save it here. And so one of the companies I was gonna come up before this was a drink company, and it was super cool. It was providing something new. Um, I guess in the just something that we're not used to that provides a huge benefit within everybody. And
So are
so
you talking about like your own version of Prime?
type stuff, yeah,
Yeah.
type in that same realm for sure. And so unlike them though, it was gonna be something that was not filled with BS ingredients. I'm just big with that. I just don't like when people are poisoning something for their own greed. And so I got to the drink. I was overseas shopping for the labels, the exact bottles, visual. Uh, sorry, I'm choking on my words, but yeah. So after that didn't end up like working out, I didn't like it that much. Then that's when I started jotting down more business ideas, and then I was going through LAX and then San Francisco. In LAX, they had it was like a cupcake machine or something like that. Yeah, it was a cupcake machine, and then in San Francisco, they had a coffee machine. So it made your coffee from start to finish. The AI wrote by hand and everything. I was like 3.5 years ago or something like that. So one night, you know, think about my pizza from years before because I switched my diet and stuff like that. And so I was like, you know what? I wonder if they have a pizza vending machine. So I went on Google. It was late night, laughing to myself, typing pizza vending machine. And so I didn't think anything would pop up, but I seen someone had it overseas in China like 15 or 20 years ago. So after that, I ran with it. I just ran with it.
I was gonna say, so when I did my research with pizza vending machines, if those even existed, I found that there was one in Puerto Rico and one in Japan. And you said there's one in China that you found.
Yeah.
And I was wondering if you, I don't want to say copied, but obviously you were inspired with the China one that you found, and you're like, I'm gonna bring that to America.
Yeah, so I always say nothing is new under the sun. Like everything that we see from our shirts, clothes, it always was designed by something else. So or by someone else. Like a car is designed based off how our body is, engine and all.
What did your family and friends think about your idea at first when you told them you're gonna start this pizza company?
Oh, my honest, they not gonna like this. But to be honest, majority of them was looking at it like I was crazy, or the energy was just off. Like pizza vending machine, okay, and kind of just like brushing off to the side. And so when I started seeing that, I was like, okay, okay. I just want you to stand there when things start coming into fruition. So
So people thought you were crazy. You really did not have anyone on your side,
pretty
from what it
much,
sounds like.
I had very little people. I know Hakeem was one of the big people, but everybody else was kind of like they just weren't convinced. And so I understood them. But
So before like you even decided to design the machine, you traveled to Italy
yeah,
and took pizza classes on how to make practically the most perfect pizza possible, to my
yeah.
understanding. So what was moving to Italy for that amount of time, and what was that like?
Ooh, it was a little bit of a culture shock. So in the States, especially living in Cali, I was in LA County. Everything was so much chaotic and just felt disconnected. As soon as I touched down in Italy, the quality of the air, you can almost taste it. Everything was different. People saying hi, smiling, uh, like nice gestures. It just was totally different. And so as I was spending more time there, I seen that exact energy that they was giving out, they was putting into their food. So that's why I was like, their food tastes just as good as the environment and what I was experiencing there. And so, yeah, it was different. I love it. I actually want to go back. So
So how long were you there for?
it was like, wasn't a crazy amount, like 2 weeks or something like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
What was the biggest takeaway you got from those culinary classes?
Mm, it was it was really the love that they put into the food. I I took a cooking class in high school, another one in college, and it was just different over there in Italy. The down to their water, the minerals in their water. It was a certain science to everything to make sure their quality is just supreme to any other place. So
Did he meet and connect with a lot of people? I'm assuming there too.
yeah, I still got people's WhatsApp from whatchamacallit, Italy, because I also told them about the vending machine and they was super excited, like what, trying to help me. And they still follow me on Instagram showing love on my posts. So yeah.
What were your professors like? Were they like professional cooks, obviously, or were they like restaurant owners, entrepreneurs? Who were the people that were teaching you how to make that pizza?
So there were professional cooks. It was the place that I went. They actually had the queen. I forgot the queen at the time, but that's where they would eat at. And so there was like an underground thing where they took me through. This is where the queen was seating at, and they even told me like the history of how pizza came about and stuff like that. So
Can you share a little bit? Because I'm personally interested in
oh,
how the
okay.
history of pizza came about. If you want to share a little bit about that.
Okay, so they love, I would say this, they love clowning American pizza. They say Pizza Hut with a funny accent or Domino's. And so they was breaking down, it's like pizza was not meant to eat. Uh, well, rewind. Pizza at first was created, I believe, it was like a homeless person's meal. It was simple as bread, sauce, and then a little bit of cheese. There was nothing to it. So one time, I guess the queen ended up having this thing we call now pizza, and she absolutely loved it. It began to be one of her staple foods and her favorite. And so what ended up happening is it just became a trend from where they was at, and so they started serving pizza. And so pizza was meant to be consumed at a lunch, breakfast, dinner, snack at any time of the day because it was light and easy to digest. They said once it hit America, it became the complete opposite. So every time you eat Domino's or pizza, you feel overly satiated. You just feel like, can I cuss? You just feel bad.
There you go.
You just don't feel good. And so I made sure all those little bit of details that they like gave me, I implemented directly into my business. So yeah.
Why do you think? I don't know. I think of like Papa John's and like Domino's. Why wouldn't they? I like what you said earlier. Are those business owners? Are they more greedy than like caring for their customers' health?
Yeah, I say it's a little bit of both because those businesses work on supply and demand. So they a lot of their feedback that they're getting is from, I guess, customers' opinions. And so before all of these Domino's pizza, they actually started natural from scratch, using flour, water, salt, yeast, just simple ingredients. And then over time, say people, oh, it's not fast enough. The pizza doesn't come out fast enough. The quality's not the same. Say they're opening up 10 other locations. So it's really for them supply and demand, but then greed does take a part of it for sure, because then they cut costs and all of that. So
Let's talk about, I guess, money for a little bit. So, how influential is money in your journey with Pizzomatic? Is that like the number one thing where you just want to make money, or I guess what? Let's just move on to that. What's your number one goal with Pizzomatic?
um, it's not about money. It's I guess it's the freedom that's attached to money. So I would say freedom. But my main goal with Pizzomatic is for it to be in every state in the United States, and um, I just want to give people, I guess, a cleaner option to eat, and then in a more convenient way. So yeah, I guess that's my huge goal for Pizzomatic. It's not so much a certain number in my head, like, or I have to reach this and then I can be done. Yeah, it's just the journey. It's just a process.
So, you come back from Italy. You decided to go all in with Pizzomatic.
Mhm.
Can you talk about how the machine came about, or the vending machine?
Okay, so because earlier I stated there's nothing new under the sun. So if I seen it here one time, that means there's got to be a handful of people to have this same exact machine, or I guess a better version of this machine. And so quickly I went on Google to type pizza vending machine near me, pizza vending machine, uh, China. I just kept searching up different pizza machine tags. And so I found one in Las Vegas that they were actually going to have one, showcase one a month and a half later. So I was like, oh yeah, this is the one I'm gonna get. So month and a half came around, I got a number in my head. I'm thinking this is probably 15, 20, $30,000 for this machine. And so whatever the price I'm willing to pay, because I'm just hungry at the point, whatever number you gonna get, like I'll make it back in half the time. And so went down to Las Vegas with my brother Hakeem actually, and so went there. The people recognized me automatically. He's like, huh? Like they was hearing me speak. He's like, hold on, you're the guy that we was emailing and stuff like that. I was like, yeah, that's me. And so they was intrigued to speak with me. So they showcased the machine, and I was looking at it like just in awe, just fascinated about what they had for me. And so she was going up about all the specs, and then I tried the pizza. It was amazing. And then I was like, man, I'm excited. Like, yeah, that's the one. I want this. And then she said, you're lucky you came today. It's the perfect day. It's like, why is that? He's like, you get $5,000 off. I was like, what? So I'm thinking maybe went from 30,000 to 25,000. I was like, that's a smooth deal. I was like, okay, what's the final price? He said it went from 100,000 to 95,000. I never walked out of the door so quick in my life. I left, and so told my brother like, bro, I'm not spending no 100,000, not even nothing like that. Um, Especially because how their model was is you had to continue to pay for, say, their boxes, their plates, their software. So they just not wasn't gonna get 100,000 from you. It was gonna get residual. So in another 2 years, another 2 3 years, you're gonna end up paying them another 100,000. So I was like, okay, I'm making my own. And so I knew it was gonna be harder and a longer, a lengthier process, but I didn't care.
So you have no investors, no co-partners. It's just you and yourself.
Yeah, yeah.
Why was it just that one interaction you had in Las Vegas where you're just like, all right, I'm not even going to reach out to anyone. I want to do this all by my own. Or did you, after that, try to reach out to other people to partner with you?
Nah. After that, I was like, yeah, like forget it. I'm gonna do it myself. And so I'm a hungry dude. So if I have my mind set on something, you're just not gonna stop me. And so yeah, it just took a couple years, but yeah, I got it here.
So how long ago was that Vegas trip?
That Vegas trip was, I want to say, two and a half, 2.5 years ago, maybe even longer, maybe 2.5. Yeah,
Because again, I want to bring up kudos to Corn Coast Conversations with this, was just the research I did from watching that interview.
Mm-hmm.
There was, during that time, obviously the vending machine wasn't a thing. You said it was like a 2.5 year thing.
Yeah.
And then the machine came out this previous spring.
Yeah. So, you want me to talk about, I guess, the 2.5 years?
Yeah.
Okay. So during that time, and you know how it is when you're working multiple jobs and stuff like that, and still trying to pour money in and time into your actual passion. And so that's how that process was. And so the first thing is finding the exact manufacturer for the machine, going down all my different specs. I told you in that time I went out to Italy to learn how to make a proper pizza. Where did it originate from? And so designs and all of that, that took a long time. Like the name for the machine, like it just, that was the first like 6 months or a year of the stage. And then of course working and doing my little side hustles. Then I think within that second year, all the designs, the names, the slogans, like all of that got completed. And then it was time to make the purchase of the machine. And so right before I was actually about to make the first purchase, there was something that happened with, they sent me samples of the boxes. And so these same boxes, ordered like 2 or 3,000 of them. They came in, because in California, they filled up my entire garage. Coming to find out, none of those boxes actually worked. They weren't even suited for the machine. And so I told the manufacturer, hold on, like, you mean to tell me it was just a lot of different, I guess, logistics that went into it, but it just didn't work. And so I was like, so how we're going to make this? I spent all this time for this machine not to actually work for, I guess, working my liking. And so what ended up happening, I had to waste all of those thousands and thousands of boxes and switched over, I'll tell you this, the last couple months, to a different manufacturer. And right there, we just clicked. They got everything I needed, the exact specs that I wanted. And so after that, that's when the machine came, and it took about 2-3 months for it to even arrive. And so I'm in California with my brother, and I'm still deciding. Oh, before that, I was deciding, am I gonna do it in California or am I gonna do it in Nebraska? So my brother was telling me, bro, do it in Nebraska, do it in Nebraska. I know you don't want to come back, but it's just gonna be best. Like, bro, I don't want to do it. Like, I don't want to come to Nebraska. I love Nebraska, but I just don't want to live here no more. And so he just kept putting it in my ear, telling me to do that. And so as I looked at the different expenses out in Cali, everything is way more pricey. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna make that move. Then it got shipped out to Nebraska. And so we was waiting. He's like, bro, when are you gonna move here? I was like, I'm coming, I'm coming. And so finally when it arrived, he took the video and stuff like that. And there was just a lot of friction that happened between. Like, it was so hard to get this machine here. You don't you don't know the half of it. So once it finally came, took a picture. I was cheesing through my phone, booked my flight, and I came down here.
So you lived in California until the machine got to your brother's house,
Yeah.
and then you're like, all right, it's there. I'm coming back.
I was trying to fit every last minute out in Cali before I had to come back here. And so yeah.
I don't want to say homesick, but do you get California sick?
Yeah, it's like that's part of my motivation. Like when I'm staying at these late nights, I just think about when I'm on the beach, just chilling. Like, man, like, I don't want to say I did it, but I came a long way. Like, I'm back here again. So yeah.
Got it. So let's move on to launch day.
Mm-hmm.
What was the first day of Pizzomatic like?
Ooh, the first day was hectic. I'm not gonna lie. At the time, like before, I always say these early stages are going to be the hardest. There's going to be the most mess ups. It's gonna be bad, and I knew this. So the first day I actually launched, there was a lot of problems before that required me to stay up nonstop. So I stayed up. It was 48 hours. Then I went to sleep for 5 hours. Then I stayed up 56 hours. Then I launched that same day, tired and still having to have emotion to take pictures, greet people, and then the whole nine. And so I remember when I had the machine finally stocked up, because everything is still new to me, there's a lot of problems with the machine that required me to stay up longer. So I stayed up longer than like 56 plus hours, just gassed out. And so I had to stay by the machine because stuff was happening. I kind of didn't want to look bad. And so that day I ended up going back to the house. Like, hey, like I gotta sleep for like 3 hours, then I'll be back up. I'm just really, really, really tired. And so I'm on my phone. I get notifications from my cameras and stuff like that. And if the machine is not working. So I remember when I went to sleep, I was about to go to sleep. 20 minutes later, notification, hey, the machine's not working. Hey, error. So I had to wake up and go and fix the machine. And I don't even remember. I forgot what I even went to sleep that day, but I was up for a long time. So over the day was
hectic.
Yeah, but it still worked out good. Everybody was loving the pizzas. It was just, yeah, those errors that happened. But
so I guess that's the first day. What about that first week? Would you say consistent? Were there still more problems day after day, or?
So each day a problem occurs, I usually am good at fixing it within that same day. But the problem was I didn't expect my business to blow up this fast as it did. So when I started making the first post, I had a couple friends / influencers come by and shoot some videos. So just like this, the pack, there's lines out the door. There wasn't a single day where I opened up where it didn't sell out, and it still sells out today, even when I'm not doing a lot of promotion. But yeah, that first month of opening before I ended up closing down,
temporarily.
Yeah, okay. Temporarily. Thank you. And so, yeah, there was a lot of shifts that I pulled where it's 48 hours, and actually, there was a point in time I technically was living here. When I would go to sleep instead of going to the house, it was nighttime. It was about 3 or 4 a.m. I was like, okay, time to take a nap. I'd sleep out in my car for an hour or two, get back and start working.
You slept in your car?
Yeah, there's sometimes I still do. Yeah, like yeah.
You might as well just buy a futon in here and just set it up somewhere.
You're not lying.
Because I just can't see myself sleeping in my car. But I mean, you gotta do what you gotta do, exactly. Especially as an entrepreneur. So respect to you for that. So that all happened, and then can you talk about why you guys temporarily closed?
We temporarily closed because the supplies that were supposed to last for 3 months ended up lasting for about 3 weeks. And so everything just sold out way quicker than I expected. And because everything is coming overseas and the war at the time was going on with
Israel and Gaza.
Thank you. Yeah. So it just took a little bit to come here. So I did make that post where it's like, Pizzomatic is officially closing down. And then I remember a lot of people saying, yeah, I knew it. It came fast as it would go. And, a lot of negativity, which is good because that's what I need for this business or any business. And so, yeah.
So I guess let's go back to those problems. How do you react to problems you can't control?
Ooh, that's a good question. It's how to react to problems I can't control is, well, the first thing I usually always get that immediate rush of frustration. So after that, I just tell myself, we've been here before. This ain't nothing to it. And so usually my motto is just give me time and everything will work out. And so I just stay to it and let time pass.
How do you bet on yourself?
Because I like that question. There's times in my life where I thought I couldn't get through or I can't see the light. Once you go through enough of those, I guess, problems or stages, you gain this certain level of confidence where I guess no one can shun on it or dim that light. And so when I am going through rough times, even now with Pizzomatic, some like right now I'm having the dough fermentation problem or just a consistency. It's really good, then sometimes it's not so good. And so I just have a confidence instilled in me. Like I said, I've been here before. This is nothing to me. So yeah.
When it was temporarily closed, was there a moment in time you were like, that's it, I'm done, screw this? Was there ever that moment?
Nah, I was kind of just like this, waiting in the corner, waiting for it to be back open. Yeah, so it was nah. Go ahead.
So the problem that was solved was the supplies finally came.
Yeah,
overseas, and that was it.
Yeah, that was all it was. It was nothing to it like I this and that. No, it was just the supplies had to end up coming. And during the times I had to think of ways to upgrade my machinery. So I'm not, because I was working on like 1 or 2 ovens. That's why I was staying up so late, because I just didn't have the equipment to produce as much pizzas that I needed to. So yeah.
So when you were temporarily closed, what were you doing? Were you just still thinking of ideas for the business?
Yeah, so a lot of ideas, a lot of content. I still research every day on different recipes or different tweaks or anything I can do to, I guess, end up on top of my competitors in a sense. And so, yeah, every day was just a mental fight. So
I should have asked this earlier, but you brought up how the pizza machine back in Vegas was going to be $95K.
Yeah.
Is it okay if I ask how much was this pizza machine?
I never say that.
You never?
Yeah.
Okay.
I never say the numbers for what I
can
have.
You,
but
can you say higher or lower?
I can't say no.
Can't even say that. All right, I'm going to respect that, as I told you earlier.
Yeah.
So, okay, that's interesting. And then you only have 3 flavors right now, or toppings: cheese, breakfast, pepperoni.
Mm-hmm.
I guess, why was it only 3 to start off with?
So to start off in what I call the honeymoon phase, I just wanted to keep it as simple as possible. And so I didn't want to, sometimes less is more. And so when they go to the machine, I only wanted them to, I guess, have these certain flavors. And then, oh, he just dropped this flavor. Oh, he just dropped this flavor. And then bring more customers over to the machine. So.
Are you familiar with Lucas from YouTube?
Yeah, what's his Lucas Bell, what's his last name?
Well, I don't know. I actually don't know what his last name is.
No. You're talking about the he made a video about the machine, right?
Fred.
Yeah. Okay, that was
the old. Remember Fred from our childhood?
Okay, yeah.
Okay, so his real name's Lucas. For those who don't know, 3.3 million subscribers. But when he was Fred, he was on doing movies, doing YouTube videos. He was an OG back then, and I think he lives in Columbus or did. Anyways, he did a review on your pizza machine. Did you see that yet?
Yeah, I seen it. Someone sent me, like, Fred did this, and I was like, what are you talking about? Then someone sent me the link after. I was like, oh, the annoying orange dude?
Well, okay. He was in that era.
Yeah. Or
Fred was the blonde guy that had the most annoying voice known to man.
Okay.
Like, okay. Hi, it's Fred. Yeah. Am I is it coming back now?
Yeah.
Your memory?
Yeah, I
Okay.
know what you're talking about.
Yeah. So I watched that and I'm like, what was your reaction when he said it was worth the hype? Were you happy to hear
Um,
about that? Obviously.
I was super happy to hear about that for sure. At that time, I wish he had the better quality pizza that I was coming out with, but I was super grateful that he did that review because it brought a lot of attention over and a lot of followers to my social media pages. So if you're hearing this, shout out to you. I appreciate you.
Any other influencers that gave your pizza vending machine a test?
Um, there was I don't think influencers, but there was a couple I said of my friends that did reviews that ended up getting hundreds of thousands of views and stuff like that, and bringing a lot of attention over.
Got
But
it.
as far as influencers go, there's also a lot of food critics that hit me up to try the pizza, but at the time I was just so busy just to get to them. But yeah, for for now, the biggest one was
Fred or
Fred.
Lucas. He's just known for Lucas for now, but I did have another question right off the bat. If you had a dream influencer come hit you up and be like, "Hey, I want to review your pizza," like a Dave Portnoy with Barstool Sports.
Nah, I don't. No, 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 not him. I want someone like. Um, I ain't gonna lie. I'll say someone like Keith Lee.
Keith Lee would be
Yeah,
amazing.
I say Keith Lee.
I think it would just be so simple for him too, because he just goes straight to his car after 5 minutes.
Yeah, I feel like no disrespect, but what's his name, David?
Dave Portnoy.
Yeah, he has a specific, I guess, pizza in his mind. If it doesn't taste like this, then your pizza's essentially bad or not good. And so,
like he loves like a crunch with the crust. Which is that your pizza?
So it's a hybrid. So with doing a lot of research, I always go, well, my first thought is if that is the best pizza, why are the leading pizza places not doing it? Why don't you really see? I mean, Domino's has versions of, they sometimes throw in New York slice or Papa John's in New York slice, but overall they have a certain crust. Why, if that's the best pizza, the New York slice, why aren't they not doing it? But these are the people that's dominating the whole industry, and so I had to think in American terms, what do Americans love collectively? And so a little bit of, I call it a dynamic contrast where it's soft, it's crunchy and soft. Um, I guess to go more on the dynamic contrast, some like how Snickers or a lot of the foods that we eat, they have like two elements to it where um, Snickers, it's crunchy then chewy. Say the what is it? Reese's. Another thing is a crunchy outside and then soft in the middle. But for the Pizzomatic, I applied that same thing to it. So right now our crust is not overly crispy, but it's a little crunch on the outside and then soft and chewy in the middle. And then of course you got the sauce where it's bringing different components to your, I guess, taste palette. And so yeah, I wouldn't say mine is New York. I wouldn't say it is um, Neapolitan. I believe it's like a hybrid. It's a little bit of everything in a sense.
Why did he put the machine off of North 48th Street?
Oh, my honest answer to that is because out of everybody, there was the only people to give Pizzomatic a shot. Everybody was like, I remember calling a company on over by North 27th, whoever owns that lot. Said, hey, like I'm interested, blah blah blah. He's like, okay, yeah, what business do you have? And I was like, I want to put a pizza vending machine. I remember saying, I don't want no blah 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 pizza machine on my lot. I was like, okay, thank you for your time. And he still had a little like attitude and it was going off. I'm like, hey, you take care, have a good one. Everybody else was like, no, I don't want it. They would ignore me. Sometimes I'd even go to the building and be like, hey, reaching out to you guys for like 3-4 weeks now. I wonder if you guys are interested. And they kind of rolled their eyes like, we're just not interested in a blah 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 vending machine. But it's so funny because as soon as I open on 48th, and this company dominates a lot of other companies. It only made sense why they do is just
they give companies a chance.
Yeah, they give companies a chance, and they're always looking for the next, I guess, big thing. And so, as soon as they said, "Yeah, let's do it," we'll sign the lease. All the other companies hit me back, "Hey, are you looking to open up a pizza vending machine on a lot? Because I seen how much attention it was bringing. I was like, it was something like I told you, like, how couldn't you see, I guess, the mind behind what was, I guess, being created. So, and of course I was like, no, I'm good. I don't want the machine on your place no more.
When I think of Nebraska pizza, I think of Valentino's pizza.
I like
I feel like I never tried Pizzomatic before, but I'm gonna be honest, I'm not a fan of Valentino's at all.
See, a lot of people say that, but I ain't gonna lie, I like Valentino.
Really?
Yeah, I like
I was gonna ask
Valentino's.
about your thoughts on. I was gonna ask you. So, what were your thoughts on Valentino's before and after Pizzomatic? Because it's literally the Nebraska football staple. It's sold out. I think probably every home game at Memorial Stadium.
Yeah. So, Valentino's, I like as a kid, I liked it a lot growing up. I just always remind me of a thick, doughy, cheesy type of crust. And so the only reason why I stopped eating Valentino's and a lot of these other fast food type places is just the ingredients and stuff to it. There's a lot of it is just poison. So
got it. Good to know.
Yeah.
I want to move on to the box because you shared this on the previous podcast that you had. How did this, like, why do you have a dog as like your main like logo? Why does it kind of look like a Halloween font? Like, can you explain all that?
Yeah, I got you. So first, all right, this is a lot of gems right here. So first, Pizzomatic, I had to do a lot of thinking with it. So my first thing is, what color did I want the machine? What color did I want the box? I know through research, women are the #1 consumers for a lot of things. And so I wanted to appeal to them first. Someone like us, we're going to eat it based off how it tastes. We don't really care about the color or anything like that. And so when women see pink or when women see the box, the first thing is, oh, that's cute. I want to try it out. I want to see what it is. And so that gets them in the door, and they usually drag their significant other out there. So it's a win-win situation. So I created pink for that matter. And also, it is very complemented to red and yellow. So red and yellow I had to incorporate because it triggers hunger. So when you think of runs, they have yellow. When you think of McDonald's, red and yellow, Burger King, yellow. Every company is using yellow or red because it's triggering hunger. So it's like, okay, I have to incorporate that somehow. I had the red to make it seem like sauce, a little bit saucy in here, and then cheese as far as it dripping. And also with this, I'm not the one necessarily designing everything. I'm the person who's like, I know what I want. I'm gonna give you all of these stipulations. Like, I want it pink, I want red, I want to look like this, and you just put it on paper because I'm not a designer myself. And so, like I said on the other podcast, my ex actually designed a lot of this on here. And so, going on the sides, there was there's inspo that I seen on the internet, and for some reason they couldn't copy like it directly. So I actually had to hand draw all of this, and then I sent it over them through, like, say on your notebook. I took a picture, and then they copied it from my notebook, and then put it on here. And so, yeah, that's what it is for that. Like, it's my handwriting right here. Enjoy the moment. And so, yeah.
There's even more. Oh, those are different from the other side. Okay.
The other side. So it's a little bit more playful. And then going on the back, the reason why I put the dog is because in this world now it's more technological and everything is, we're in a society where we're, I guess, detached from nature in a bit. So the machine already is like sci-fi-ish. It almost seems, I'm trying to find the word that I'm looking for, but it just doesn't seem real in a sense. And so I provide the dog because I guess it makes damn, I'm tripping up on my words.
You're all good.
It's just providing something
just unique.
Yeah, but I'm sorry, I'm tripping on the word. I'm trying to figure out.
You're all good, Juice.
So yeah, that's about it for the dog, and then the little slogan that I have, and then of course I didn't get to describe this. The ATM, the ATM that never runs out of dough was actually from Hakeem. And so I told him like, hey, bro, like I need a slogan for my business. And rapper and artists, rappers and artists kind of had the same mind. Like they're very unique. And comedians, their mind is just different. It just thinks different. And so every time I ask him about something that I really can't think of, he's kind of like my chat GPT in today's time. So I send it over to him. He gives me a smile, like, okay, I got something for you. And like 2 or 3 days later, answer back. He's like, okay, I got some options for us. Like, what you got, man? He started cheesing. You gonna like this one? And that's when he hit me with the ATM that never runs out of dough. We pause, we smile, and we nod our head like this the one. So
Do you have an idea where your second location will be?
yeah, it's gonna be in the Haymarket.
In the
For sure.
Haymarket?
Yeah, for sure.
So it's like it's bound to happen. It's just a matter of time.
Yeah, it's just a matter of time, and that's what I said earlier. We're working. I gave a little hint at, but we are working on another machine, the different designs and different specs, and
So it's gonna be a little bit different. The other machine, like design wise, correct, or like everything wise.
Machine wise, I'm doing a little bit tweaks for this box, but the machine itself is going to be completely different. Not completely different, but yeah, it will be completely different.
That'll be interesting.
Yeah, it's way better. It's crazy.
I guess I gotta add. I'm from Illinois, so moving to Nebraska, I've noticed how most people, I should say, in Nebraska puts their pizza and ranch. So have you ever thought about having like, because I remember in the Lucas video, like he was like, oh, I wish there's like a sauce or like a ranch thing.
Yeah.
Have you ever thought about adding that to probably your next machine?
Yes.
Or just adding that to your current machine?
Yeah, so about 2 days ago, I reached out to them about that because I'm trying to take away the cutlery box at the bottom on that video. On the video that he shot, he actually didn't get the cutlery box, so they ended up pulling it with their hand. I don't know if you've seen. But I'm getting that removed, and I was like, hold on, instead of this, can we try to build in a refrigeration system on the right side and provide condiments? So you just add 25 cents onto whatever you're buying, and then that comes out. So yeah, it's definitely been thought about. I don't know how long that would take. I'm thinking on the third machine, I'll probably get that figured out. But yeah, I believe that would be a good option.
Do you like ranch on your pizza?
Nah.
Just barbecue?
Nah. So as a topping, I'll take barbecue, but never as a dipping sauce. For my pizza, I don't think I ever used like no sauce on the side with it.
Really?
Yeah, nah. You like your ranch guy?
I like ranch, dude. Have you ever had crab rangoon pizza? So you know what crab rangoon is?
Yeah. I heard about it, but I have not.
It's like sweet and sour sauce with either crab or cream cheese, or both, even depending what restaurant you go to. It's so good. It's my favorite pizza of all time.
I like that. That sounds different.
It's it's unique.
Yeah,
for sure. You should look into that. It's very hard to make, probably.
You got me thinking. I might add that as a flavor, low key.
Dude, I think it's a hit. I'd probably drive to Lincoln at least once a weekend for that. If you want an additional customer, no, it's gonna be crap. So, I want to talk about like when people give negativity to Pizzomatic. So when you go like on Google reviews or whatever review network or software you use, and you see like 1 out of 5, 1 out of 10, worst pizza, how do you react to that?
So at first I would beat myself up about it, like, man, like, and a lot of the reviews also that I'm getting is, well, from before when everything was always sold out. Still is sold out a lot, but it's like they give you 1 star, it's never open, it's broken, they never had pizza. Why is it called the ATM that never runs out of dough? So those comments at first, like, man, like, especially leaving a 1 star on a Google page, that affects the business a lot, because that's all that you would see. Now there's social media, Instagram and TikTok, where you can have a 1 star on Google, but your platforms are hundreds and thousands of people following, and it really doesn't matter. But yeah, at first I would beat myself up. I was talking to my brother, like, man, like, I'm not really liking this. And you got to understand that even if it was the best pizza in the world, there'll still be negative comments. Even if it was their way, someone else is gonna have a negative comment. So it was just like, this is how it is in the business world. And the funny thing about it, a lot of people that was leaving negative comments, those are the same people that actually bought the pizza again, and then again and again. And then it's funny because they don't leave a positive comment, they leave negative comments, but then they're still buying. So it's like, okay, I understand. Like, this is just a part of the game.
So what you're saying is people gave it a second chance. The ones that gave a bad review
Mhm.
ended up liking it, would return, just not leave a positive comment.
Yeah, yeah. A lot of the time. So I was like,
Do you think that happens? Do you think that's common with other restaurants too? Now that you're in like that industry,
yes and no. Yeah, yes and no. Because when I am seeing these comments, I'm not being. I actually enjoy them a little bit because it helps me out a lot. Like, okay, if are saying, if collectively I'm getting 3 to 5 people that say the dough is salt or the crust is doughy or maybe it's cardboard like or maybe it tastes like this. Collectively, if I see that, then there has to be a problem. It just can't be randomly they're just saying these things. And so that helps me because I look back on it and I look at the videos, I look at the pictures, I do that same recipe, like, okay, I can see what they're saying. Let me tweak it a little bit this way. And so that's what I have been doing. So maybe when they're coming back, they get a different experience. Like, oh, never mind. This time it actually tastes better. And so it's gonna be like that for Pizzomatic for the first couple, I say 2 or 3 months, where you're gonna have a really good pizza, and then maybe it's not gonna taste as good as that first time, just until I get these $1 million, I mean not $1 million, but bigger equipment, kind of like Domino's, Papa John's, and other companies.
I know you don't have any partners or yeah, just any partners or it's all on you. But do you have any business mentors that are helping you?
I say my brother Hakeem. Um, I usually call him every day, and then I think it's only him, and yeah, yeah, it's just only him, mentor wise for sure.
Now let's move on to the question I was talking about earlier. If you were to go on Shark Tank, present Pizzomatic, do your presentation,
Mm.
and let's just say all the judges are like, we're interested. They all have a great, like the perfect offer. Like say like they all have like the same exact offer that you want, but you have to pick one of them. Who are you picking?
I'm picking Mark Cuban for sure. He know how to get money. Yeah, he know how to get money. I think he's way more influential than all of them on that platform too.
And also like he's more of a tech guy. That's how he
Yeah,
kind of started. So I feel like he could technologically upgrade the machine
yeah,
and help out with that. So I understand that.
for sure.
But outside of Shark Tank, would there be someone like an entrepreneur that's not Mark Cuban that you would love to have invest in your pizza vending machine?
Mm, I would say an influencer. I would say my first thing is someone like Gordon Ramsay or something, but I would pick an influencer over a chef because the influencers are running the game. So if I say someone like Mr. Beast, it's being sold out not every day, but every 2 hours the pizza is gonna sell out. Or someone even like Keith Lee, who's a food critic, or David Porter, whatever his name is.
Portnoy.
Yeah, so I say an influencer, someone like that, someone up there. Yeah. Um,
And then, so every day do you go to your machine every day?
yeah, because I have to stock it and then also clean it and then just check up on it. Like my little baby, gotta take
So you
care
have
of it.
like absolutely no vacation time. Do you have like a backup plan? Like say like you have COVID or you're just bedridden,
Mm.
bedridden. Are you gonna text one of your brothers or friends, be like, hey, can you check on the machine for me? Just tell me how it is.
Uh, yeah. I also have the cameras where I can see how the machine is doing and then my digital apps. But backup right now, because the process I have is there's certain things I'm doing that I can't teach someone like this. I have been employing people, but nah, yeah, I don't have no backup. So if I am bedridden, which I'm gonna still get up, I don't have no backup.
You brought up sorry, I've been going all over the place with
No, you're
this
good.
interview.
I think it's
Okay,
good
because
for
I'll
my
be going
mind.
but I went from back to negativity and then I'm gonna go back to entrepreneurship.
Yeah, we good.
And as a kid, you loved learning about Warren Buffett as a kid.
Yeah.
So my question to you is, what do you personally think about Warren Buffett?
I like I like Warren Buffett. He a chill dude. He's not flashy. He seems more grounded than the other billionaires. Um, yeah, smart dude. I like him. He's real humble.
And then, as I said, I'm going all over the place. Now I'm going to deep dish pizza. What are your thoughts on deep dish pizza? Because I'm from Chicago, and I'm not a fan of deep dish pizza.
Yeah, I actually never have tried deep dish pizza.
So you don't have a say or an opinion.
Yeah, I don't, but I don't know. It don't look too good. I'm not gonna lie. Eating a thick doughy.
Nah.
Yeah, I really want to try.
I'm with you there, but like Chicago, I can't speak right now. Chicago style pizza, so it's like I think it's called like tavern pizza, where it's like mainly crunchy and thin. I don't know how to describe
Where's that at? You said
just Chicago style pizza. Like, you know how there's like Detroit style pizza, Denver style pizza, which it's either like hybrid or crunchy or however it goes, Neapolitan. So Chicago style, like, which is, it's, you can say it's deep dish, but it's also like mainly flat crunchy pizza. But other than that, Juice, I have no other questions other than what are the upcoming plans now with fall coming up for Pizzomatic? How you gonna be with the weather getting colder? Sorry to cut you off. With the weather getting colder, winter's like 4 months away. How you gonna work with that?
Well, my goal right now is to be gone before winter time, because I don't want to experience another winter. And so my goal right now is, the current problem right now is the dough fermentation time, just setting it down, just consistency with that crust. And so trying to work that out as best as possible. Finishing as much crust as I possibly can between a 7-8 hour time frame. And then, like I said, right now is a lot of the money that's coming in is going to that other pizza vending machine. And so the reason why I'm working overtime and I'm responding at 3, 4, 5 a.m. because I'm setting up to getting ready to leave and not have to be here 25/8. And so, yeah, once October, let me see, September, October, November. I'm thinking hopefully end of October or November, that second machine arrives. During that time, I'm going to keep teaching people how to do what I'm doing so I don't have to be here. And then pretty much after that, and that consistency is there, then the business is streamlined. And that's when money really starts coming in. And then coming next year, that's when I call it franchise mode. Where now I can afford these $30,000, $40,000 machines, where instead of 5 people, now I can need 1 person operating this. And so it cutting a lot of costs. And then, of course, the franchisees are going to appreciate how little time and effort they have to put in to make a good amount of money off 1 machine. So
far, is all of this work worth it?
Yeah, for sure. And like I said, I post every day. If you don't follow my TikTok, you should, if you want to stay updated kind of through my process. So,
can you share all your social media accounts?
Yeah,
on here.
Yeah, so it's my TikTok is jswank.co. It's JSWANK.co. So each day I say, I start out day one is scaling my first business to 7 figures. Day 2 is scaling my first business to 7 figures. So I'm at like day 64 right now. So the nights where I'm sleeping in the car, I'll post day 64, long night, this happened, this problem happened. And then I post the time, it's about 4:30 a.m. when I'm just now going to sleep. Got to get back up. Like today, it's like I got to get back up at like 5-6 hours. I got this interview. I'm tired. And then, yeah, so so far everything has been worth it. And I absolutely love the process. Like, I'm kind of crazy. Like, sometimes when I'm staying up at night and waking up early, I literally laugh to myself like, it's just fun. It just brings me life. And so
there's purpose.
Yeah, exactly.
And then can you share the exact location of where people could actually drive to this vending machine?
Yep. 233 North 48th Street, right in front of Yogurtini. It's not a drive-through. There's an open parking lot. You can park right next to it and order your pizza. If someone hasn't ordered right before you, it takes a couple minutes to preheat. But other than that, it takes 3 minutes and some change to cook your pizza fresh and on the spot.
Juice, I really appreciate you hopping on this interview. I had a great time listening to you.
Thank you. Likewise. I appreciate you for having me again.
Absolutely. Guys, thank you for listening and watching today.